Hey, what is up, you guys? Good afternoon. This is Ashley Campbell, Daily Encouragement. So, I'm on a lunch break with my kids, and I want to share with you guys the news I just got this afternoon. Um, I took my son to go do his written test this morning, which he finally passed it. It took him 2 times. The first 2 times he took it, he did not do very well. There was a ton of questions about, drinking and driving and all that kind of stuff. So he studied up really good this weekend. He passed the test today, and I let him drive home. It's pretty cool. So and I finally did get the release date today. So I want to jump on here and share it with you guys. So January 4th, 2023 is when you guys are going to be able to get Nuggets of Truth into your hands, volume 1. Volume 1, because guess what, you guys? There's going to be 3 more volumes coming out of this one. Hey, Sue, how's it going? I'm working on another book right now, you guys. It's not a devotional. It is a story. It's my story about, my relationship with the Lord, the bondage I was in, how I met the Lord, all this kind of stuff. It's kind of my spiritual background per se. So that's the second book I'm working on right now. Once that book is done, then I'm going to work on the second volume for Nuggets of Truth, you guys. I already got some ideas how the covers are going to look for volume 2 and 3. It's like, it is amazing how the Lord has been inspiring me the last few days and showing me mental images in my mind of what these other 2 devotionals are going to look like. So you guys, there's going to be a ton of content coming from this girl. All God inspired, I'm telling you. It is so amazing that once you get healed in your life and things start happening, you start doing things in your life you never thought were possible. So anyway, January 4th, 2023 is the release date. Okay. That's the first thing I want to share with you guys. The second thing was the cost of the book. It's going to be $23.99 plus shipping. They set that cost based upon the amount of work it took them to do it. That's how the cost is set. Okay. And the publisher sets the cost. Now, I can intervene with it or whatever, but I trust them to set it because they're the ones who did all the work, right? So they set the cost for the book. So January 4th, 2023, it's going to be $23.99 plus shipping. All right. Now, I will say this. You will be able to, they're going to preload it at, local. Let me go back to this other page, you guys. I got a couple things I got to share with you. But you can order it online through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart. But they're also going to load it up at the local bookstores. So they can carry it if they want to. So you could walk into your local bookstore and see if they have it. I'm trying to find where that page is really quick, you guys. I'm looking at the contract right now, so bear with me, okay? I was just reading through it, and I was like, oh, I don't really need to talk about that. Here we go. Publisher will upload the work for placement in the database of all major physical bookstores locations such as Barnes & Noble, as well as online venues such as Amazon, okay? So you guys should be able to get it at your local bookstore as well as online, okay? I'm actually going to be, once the book's released, I'm going to go down to my local bookstores and see if, if they'll carry it for me. Actually get a shelf in there, not just go there and be like, hey, can you order this book? Right. But see if I can get it on the shelf out there. So the other thing I want to share with you guys, since you guys are on here, is the commercial. Okay. I want to try to collect the money for the commercial by the release date. I'm going to say by January 1st, have all the money for it. There's 2 options for a commercial. And, I know I'm asking for a lot from you guys just because you guys already helped pay for the contract, but I'm just going to throw it out there anyway and just see what the Lord does. Right. I mean, all you can do is ask and see what happens. And so that's what I'm doing, So there's 2 commercials. And so the first one, you guys, is, let me see. Okay. So TBN Inspire TV commercial production and campaign. Okay. This one is $5,500. All right. So this one is publisher agrees to script and produce a professional 30-second television commercial that author can utilize across social media and other avenues at author's discretion. Okay. And then it says, publisher agrees to provide a minimum of 20 airtime positions on the TBN Inspire channel within the first year from the release date of the book to air the 30-second television commercial in order to promote author's work. So the one for $5,500, they will air it 20 times over a year, and it's a 30-second commercial. I think that's pretty good. I think it's great. Either one, I would be happy with, frankly. And then you guys, I'm telling you, this video isn't super fun to do because this is all the logistics, but I got to talk about it because, you guys have been a part of this journey. So And I'm asking you guys to help me financially support it. So I think it's important that you guys know exactly what you're investing your money in. Okay. So that's one thing about me. I'm like super thorough about stuff. Okay. So TBN TV commercial production. So this is the one this is the big boy. This is the $10,000 one. Okay, guys. So I'm going to read to you what is included in this commercial with TBN for the $10,000 one. Publisher agrees to script and produce a professional 90-second television commercial that author can utilize across social media and other avenues at author's discretion. B, publisher will produce a television commercial to be aired on TBN, which is approximately 90 seconds in length. The commercial will feature Max Lucado's book, Unshakable Hope Study Guide, the work of this author, and Jay Sekulo's book, Jerusalem, along with an invitation for other prospective authors to contact Trilogy at Trilogy's web address and or phone number. A minimum of 8 insertions of the commercial into TBN's schedule will occur in a 4 to 8 week period. Commercial to air between 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Publisher will grant author a license to stream the commercial on author's social media accounts in the context of promoting author's book and promoting Trilogy, as long as this publishing and promotion agreement remains in effect. So that's the second contract, the $10,000 one. That's the one I'm really shooting for. I'm like, why not? You guys, it's a minute and a half, so it's going to be on there longer than 30 seconds. Now, okay, let's be real. The 30-second one is probably more to a people's attention span. Okay. I don't mean that to insult anybody, but it's just the way that it is, right? The way we are with social media and the way we, online about things. I'm like, okay, 30 seconds might be good for that. But the cool thing about this other one is my book will be next to really big authors. All right. And, when you're first starting out, people are like, are you like bona fide? Right. And so I'm like, well, if my book's up there with other big authors, they might be like, hey, we got to read Ashley's book. Right. Not to mention, TBN has 1.6 million people that are on their channel every single day. That's a huge audience, you guys. That's really incredible. And that's why I'm like, why not go for it and see what happens? So, and then it talks about, along with an invitation for other prospective authors to contact Trilogy. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I don't really know kind of logistics of that. I would have to get a hold of my account executive and ask her. So that's the second one. But basically at the end of the day, you guys are going to be the ones that are going to pay for this. Ultimately, you guys, one's 5,500, one's 10,000. If you guys even think it's worth doing, I think it is. But guess what? I don't even have my own money to invest into it right now. Like seriously, guys. And I'm just keeping it real with you. Now, here's the thing too. I was like, what would I do? Let's just say we get really, really close to the 5,500 and there's a bunch of donations and I can't get the commercial. What would I do with the money? I would just buy my books with it and I would just be able to sell them. And that's what I would do if that happened. Okay. And I'm just because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, what would happen if all these people donated the money and I didn't have the 5,500 by January 4th, or I'm not exactly sure if the book's going to release on the 4th. I would imagine that they would want the money really close to around the release date for the commercial. Makes sense. But I was thinking about that. What would I do with the money? I would, if you guys sent a lot of money, but it wasn't money to pay off the $5,500 commercial, I would just invest 100% of it into daily encouragement and just buy my own copies of the book physically and just be able to sell them. And so basically you guys would just be investing in daily encouragement that way. So that's what I would do with that if it went that route. And, same thing with the $10,000 one, that money would just be used to buy books 100%. And that way I would just have, a stockpile of them sitting around here to sell, but ultimately I think having an audience, getting on there at least one, that's what I figured. If I'm going to do the book, at least, try to get an audience and see what happens. So that is it, you guys. And as far as donating for the commercial, it's going to be the same way you guys did for the book, the same link. I'm going to go ahead and do an update on there, on the page for the GoFundMe and just let everybody know that, wasn't on this live, like, hey, this is what's going on. So, yeah, that is it, you guys. January 4th, 2023. We're going to be doing this book and, they want me to and what I'll do as soon as I get a copy of it, cause I can order a couple copies. You guys have sent me a couple donations here and there. I think I got about $70. I'm going to use all of that to buy my own copies. Okay. Cause I can get them for much cheaper, you guys, I get a 60% discount. So I can buy them for like, I think it's almost $10 a piece. Your guys' cost is going to be $23.99. Okay. And that's how I'm going to make money off of it, is you guys paying full price. So I can at least get $10 a book on it. Okay. So that's how much money I'm going to be making on the books. It's basically $10 a book, you know, and because they're like, I think, yeah, it's, my cost is $9.60, but the cost is $23. So the difference is, you know, I'm going to be getting my initial investment back. So they're going to, you know, I think it was like $5,500, and I'm going to, and then after that, it's like the contract is split. It's like 70-30. And then what I'm going to do when I get that first initial chunk back, I'm going to use that to do my second book. Now, here's the thing. What if, let's just say, what if my book just blows up and I sell millions of copies? Then I won't even have to worry about paying for another contract. I can get a traditional contract. The only time you ever get a traditional book contract is when you have millions of followers who are ready to buy your book. That is how big names are able to start writing books and not have to invest anything, because they've got the following, they've got the audience behind it that's going to back them, you know, back them with the dollar, so to speak. When I first started this, you guys, I had 300 followers on my page. No publishing company would look at me. No traditional publishing company is going to look at anything I'm doing, because they're like, who the hell are you? And who's going to buy your book? And we're not going to, you know, spend all this time and energy into you when there's nothing behind it. That's why I had to pay for the contract, right? But I already explained all that to you guys before. So, you know, anyway, but I'm going to pop off here, you guys. I just want to let you know what's going on. So January 4th is the big day. You guys will be able to order it yourself. It's going to be $23.99. And I will share more details with you guys as this thing happens. Like when I get the actual physical copies, I'm going to order, because I can order them. She said I can order them like now. So I just cashed in my podcast for like $20, and I'm going to put that $20 on it and then try to get as many as I can. So I think I'll probably be able to order like maybe 7 or 8, and then I'll have a couple, and then I can show them to you guys, and then you guys will be able to order your own. So anyway, if you guys think the commercial is worth it, if you think the stuff that I do is worth investing in financially, then you guys can help me with the commercial. It's on God, and it's on you guys really at the end of the day. So Sue, Mary, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of the day. Thank you guys for being on here. You're going to get my book. Thank you, Mary. I'm super excited about it. Like I said, you know, Nuggets of Truth is really about you digging up the soil of your own heart. And nugget of truth. What is truth? Realizing the truth in the context of your life and how your life is impacting you, getting those aha moments, that's going to set you free. And once you take that journey of dealing with the boundaries that are in your heart, the things that you know are holding you back, when you start letting God get in there and heal you and do some work, you're literally like, you don't even realize what's happening. But through that process of healing, you start uncovering things about yourself you didn't even know. Okay. You start figuring out the desires, the skills, the talents that you had that were buried underneath the pain and the burdens that you were carrying. Your life is hidden in the soil of your own heart, you guys. And I'm super passionate about that. And so if you are really ready to kind of dig in and figure out, okay, Lord, what am I here for? You know, Lord, I want to be able to, you know, do what Ashley's doing, right? Some of you out there want to write books, right? But there's things that are holding you back. You know, some of you, you know, daydream about your life and what you want to do, but you're not doing it. Those are the things you got to deal with. You can't deal, you know, you have to deal with the things that are holding you back first if you want to make progress. You can't avoid those things. And so I'm hoping that my devotional will provoke you to deal with the things that you're not dealing with, so you can start living the life that God's hidden in your heart. It says if you are committed to him, he will give you the desires of your heart. Now, here's the other thing that a lot of Christians don't do. And it took me, I'm going to say a little while to really just fully embrace. Like, can you acknowledge your commitment to God? Like, we talk about our commitment to him, but what about your commitment? Did you know that God will honor your commitment? Right? Like he will give you the desires of your heart. God will plant certain things in your heart that you want to literally do as a result of your commitment to him. And the things that you're going to want to do are going to be things that you were created to do, that you want to do, that you're excited to do, that you're passionate to do. It's not going to be a burden. Like we talk about, you know, like most people talk about Christianity. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. It sucks. That's not how the Lord rolls. And I posted a throwback podcast on here for you guys today, talking about carrying your cross. You guys totally got to listen to it. Okay. It is not, I'm telling you right now, I'm so excited. I'm freaking talking over my own words. The way I talk about carrying your cross is not the typical way that people talk about it. It is not about carrying around this heavy burden and being miserable and being a doormat and your life sucks. Okay. Your cross is carrying out the grace that God has poured inside of you, because some people aren't going to like your grace. Okay. I told you back in 2017, when I started sharing my journey with people and the tools that God was using in my life, books, okay, psychology books, Christian psychology books from Dr. Henry Cloud, Boundaries, how people grow, how people heal. I'll do another post on here. In my book, I share with you guys like the top 8 books that I read that I recommend to you, and I'll definitely post that for you guys because it's going to take work on your behalf. You can listen to me or anybody else speak or read as many books and listen to so many podcasts, but if you're not doing anything with the information, you guys are always going to be stuck, right? I started literally integrating all these ideas and these things that these guys were talking about, and I started asking the Lord to help me do it. And my life started changing drastically, and I went through this massive healing period, and it changed my life. But then I get on here and I start talking to people about it, and then you've got, Christians out there saying, "Oh, Ashley, don't forget about the Bible," implying that I'm not reading the Bible. Like they have no idea what's going on in my life, right? And so I was just like, Lord, I'm done. I'm not going to deal with people anymore. I don't want any more stupid messages. I don't want any more, dealing with just negativity from people. And then the thought hit me like a ton of bricks. It was like, Ashley, if you deny the means that I used to heal your life, you deny me. I could not deny the practical grace that God had poured into my life that helped me, right? Something as simple as reading a book about boundaries and figuring out how they were supposed to work in the context of my life, realizing I didn't have any. Why didn't I have any? What happened in my life? Understanding the soil that shaped me. You guys, my devotional will help you do that. Okay. And I'm very open and I'm very vulnerable about the things I've been through. You're probably going to read it and be like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. You know what? That's okay. Right. My book is for the real. Right. If you want to be real and transparent and you want to just live out God's grace unapologetically, authentically. Okay. Those are the kind of people I'm looking for because that's the kind of person I am. And I can say that with confidence because I know myself. And I want you guys to have that type of confidence in your life. I want you to learn to establish your identity and your character and your values and not other people's opinions, perspectives, or your circumstances. I talk about that on the podcast. And in my devotional, I walk you guys through a little bit of a process on how to establish your own identity in those things. Okay. So you guys, this thing is loaded and I can't wait till you get it in your hands. And I'm excited to see what God's going to do with it. And just to hear your guys' insights, through reading it, your perspectives, even the ones who say it sucks, like bring it on. Right. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to pop off here. You guys have an awesome rest of the day and I will see you guys tomorrow morning.